Hello and welcome to Shell Point Today for the weekend of February 12th, 13th, and 14th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On today's program, we'll find out about our Card Crusaders here at Shell Point and the wonderful work they're doing to bring a smile and warm the hearts of residents on Valentine's Day. Also, we'll recap the top stories from earlier this week.
But first, Saturday will be the time to get out your walking shoes and head to Punta Gorda. The walking club will take a 3-mile walk in the parks that line Charlotte Harbor and the Peace River and end at Fisherman's Village. The 5-mile walk will continue further with a boardwalk stroll through mangroves and along Linear Park, which follows the route of the former Florida Southern Railroad. The Saturday walk departs from the administrative courtyard on the island at 8 a.m. To sign up for the walk, call Jerry Bishop of Eagles Preserve at 822-5608.
Also Saturday will be the time for watching a movie. It's the 2015 film The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. De Niro plays a retired executive who decides to return to the workforce by landing a position in a fast-growing e-commerce fashion company. The company's CEO, Hathaway, is skeptical, however, if the new employee can keep up. Don't miss this comical and inspiring film being shown in the Grand Cypress Room at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. this Saturday.
I've seen that film. It's a pretty good flick.
It is good.
Valentine's Day is this weekend, and the Palm Grill and the Crystal have the perfect dining options for you to celebrate.
Come celebrate Valentine's Day with a special dinner at the Palm Grill. Saturday, February 13th from 4 until 8 p.m., you can enjoy live music and entree choices such as filet mignon, lamb chops, prime rib, Florida grouper, and salmon piccata. A special dish, the Loving Couple, consists of shrimp scampi and a petite filet mignon. There's also a sweetheart salad available and special Valentine desserts. Prices range from $21 to $29, and call-ahead seating is available at 454-2059. On Sunday, February 14th, enjoy a buffet brunch at the Crystal Room from 10:30 a.m. until 2 p.m., featuring carved beef tenderloin, carved oven-roasted turkey, roasted sweet pepper chicken, orange roughy, and a variety of hot vegetables. The Crystal's large dessert buffet will include the chocolate fountain. The buffet brunch at the Crystal, just $17.50 on Valentine's Day.
And speaking of Valentine's Day, we'd like to introduce you to a special group of residents who bring a smile and warm the hearts of residents with something wonderful that they find in their mailbox. The Card Crusaders started out as a group of creative and caring individuals who make greeting cards for assisted living residents on their birthdays and Christmas. This year, something new is happening. Enlisting the help of even more people, they're creating cards for Valentine's Day. Joy Ellen Ryan was able to round up many of these tireless doers of goodwill so that we could introduce them to you today.
We're at the Springs in the conference room, and we're here because the group that's assembled here are Card Crusaders. And the Card Crusaders' inception started back in 2013 when it became apparent that many residents at the assisted living do not get cards. And so we decided that we would get together and make cards for all of those people in the 3 assisted living, King's Crown, the Arbor, and the Springs. And we'd see that everyone got a birthday card and everyone got a Christmas card. And it has evolved. And it was from just a few people. And the group that's assembled here are both the artists, and you see the array of cards that we have here. And each of them represents a different artistic interpretation of how things are done. The one group that is not represented here is King's Crown. Now, King's Crown is the newest committee to be formed, and they're incognito. One of our artists here is Joan.
I was recruited to come here, and they asked me in 13 just to make cards for the people that are not getting any cards, and I was delighted to do that. And they call me an artist. I am not an artist. I may be a crafter, but I certainly am not an artist. And I make very simple cards. There's a birthday card, and I've made many Valentine cards for this year, and I just think it's a wonderful opportunity to cheer up our residents here at Shell Point.
At Christmas time, I made hundreds of Christmas cards for everybody. I make them not on the computer, but with used Christmas cards. Here's a sample of a used Christmas card. I recycle it. I make my fancy scissors, use fancy scissors, and then make nice cards. And so I am happy to make them. I myself am quite proud of them because I think they're pretty.
I was asked by Joy Ellyn to chair the committee for the Springs. We have a good committee here, and we're very active in passing out cards to all the residents, not only on their birthdays, Christmas, and special occasions, but we do sometimes know about the need for a sympathy card or a get well card, and we try to take care of those.
This is my first time at the table anywhere with the cards. I'm helping out Pauline, and glad to be able to help her in any way possible. And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful organization.
I take cards that have been donated from everywhere and cut them apart and recycle them. I've placed a lime color on this side of the card, but then I lined it with a matching contrasting color on the inside. And then I will put a little written note inside to go with it. I have a toolkit here that has some of the tools I use. Crimpy scissors, a ruler to keep things straight, and an envelope just full of messages to add to the cards. So that kind of keeps me going. And the most important tool I have is glue. That holds it all together.
I'm Ben Loveridge, and I provide transportation for Margaret Loveridge when she on-call transportation, and that's about it.
I like to assist Pauline and the other ladies on the floor, and particularly in delivering the cards. It's a wonderful organization, and I'm glad to help in any way I can.
I decided that for Valentine's Day I wanted everyone to have a Valentine if I could make that many, and so I've made more than 100. But on the table in front of me are examples of what I do. And but some of my very favorites are to make those with messages on. And this one says, "Take care of all your memories, for you cannot relive them." And I think that's nice to have a little saying that people can think about. And so I do a lot of those. And I like to try to help the men a little bit. So I have one here that is fishes. And it says, "An answer to this question is what I greatly wish. Does fishing make men liars, or do only liars fish?" And you hope you get a smile too when you do things like that.
I happily send out cards to people that don't get cards. And we try to send birthday cards, Valentine's, special occasions, any time that something special happens that we think a person needs a card, we do it. And I'm very happy to help, and I thank you, Pauline, for asking me to help you.
And I spend many, many hours on the computer because I do a lot of computer cards. I do them in various categories. Some are a motto of some kind that will be encouragement, such as something like this. And that category will have the same cover on it so that the people who pass them out will know what they're doing. And it's something like the happiness in your life keeps you sweet, the trials in your life keep you strong, the sorrow in your life keeps you human, the failures in your life keep you humble. Faith in God will always keep you going. We need to laugh. And I think a good laugh every day is an important thing. So I do humorous cards. And this category of humorous cards is Valentine's this time. So every one of these will be a card that's a humorous card, such as something, sorry, we're not accepting unsolicited submissions. Do you remember giving Valentines out at school? That was that kind of thing. It'd be a memory. After doing cards, I do hundreds of them on the computer. After doing that, I decided maybe a little magnet would be an encouragement as well. So I'm into making magnets now. A number of these are Valentine magnets.
We are just getting started with Card Crusaders at the Arbor. I've been privileged to meet all these ladies that make these beautiful cards, and we have the happy job of passing them out. And our committee has really enjoyed it, and we have had personal thanks from some of the people that have received the cards. The other day, my husband and I were eating in the dining room, and a gentleman came over to thank me personally for the birthday card. So people are enjoying this group, and it is a great honor to be part of it.
We have lots of others that aren't active participants that make this successful. And Ben is one of them, and my husband, Tim Brady, is as well. And he hit around the corner. And what he does is, we don't have a stamp. At some time in the future, we hope to have a stamp to mark this Card Crusaders. And so he does all the calligraphy and puts Card Crusaders on the back of the stamps. And so I'm talking about thousands of cards in the last year or so. In some of the cards on the inside, we write notes. It depends upon the particular situation or the person or the case, and it's up to their discretion as to what kind of note the person might need. So this has been a very fruitful experience getting this to all happen.
Happy Valentine's Day! Since Valentine's Day is all about love, we thought we'd find out what residents love about Shell Point and share the love with you.
My best Valentine memory is when my Hal, my husband, we've been married for almost 4 years, and when he proposed to me, we were in the middle of a totally crowded Red Lobster on a Saturday night, and he got down on one knee and he proposed to me, and he gave me this beautiful ring, and the whole restaurant went, oh.
Can you tell us about your first sweetheart Valentine, like maybe way back in grade school? Or
yes.
What,
Yes,
I sent you a Valentine?
I certainly can.
Tell us about it.
His name was Bill Collier, and he was the best looking thing. And I think I had my first date with him, probably junior high. I mean, I didn't start dating at the 6th grade, you know. And I think we went to a dance. And I don't know whether it was Valentine's Day, but it was Valentine's Day for me, you know. It was good.
My first love was Gary Skorheim, 7th grade, Dillon, Colorado. Yep.
So what was it about him? Big blue eyes or something?
He had blue eyes and braces, mouthful of teeth, just gorgeous. mouthful of tin.
Tell us about when you guys first met.
Well, we were up at Bayview, which was a branch up on Traverse City for Albion College, and I was a lifeguard up there. And of course, she came down to the beach and she looked up there. Here's a lifeguard.
A babe in a bathing suit, huh?
She was gone right there.
Okay, that's how it started.
Yeah, and I wasn't much of a student, but she was a student.
Well, he had an Essex car that he had gotten right after he got out of the service.
It had a rumble seat.
Okay.
And it was real.
Bathing suit and cool car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's magic right there.
And a GI Bill, you know, I had more cash going than I ever did.
It's flush with money.
That was fun.
Sounds like good times. Joyce and Glenn, how long have you all been married?
Well, it'll be 12 years in September.
12 years. So tell us, how did you meet?
Well, we met at a kind of a situation like this, the YMCA back home in Ohio, and where I went all the time. And then her husband passed away, and one of her lady friends said, "You need to get out of the house and go start working out." So me working out and her working out.
It worked out.
It worked out.
Your first love. Or
Yes.
Your first crush, let's call it that.
Yes.
You remember his name?
Trey.
Trey. Tell us about Trey.
Well, he was super cute, big blue eyes, and we both loved sports together. So we did a lot of different sports together. So that was our fun.
That was it. Well, something clicked there because you're still pretty sporty.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We met on a snow hill, snow skiing. We were introduced by a mutual friend.
Okay, very nice.
And she came flying down the hill with her key straight ahead and went plowing through the lift line.
Uh-oh.
I had never snow skied before. I had water skied.
She did it with like water skiing.
I water skied down the hill.
Wow, that gala was really something. And look, this is the home of Waters Watch.
Vivian, look what I just got in from the architects, fresh off the plans.
Wow.
Not sure if we're supposed to see these yet, but wow, there's a lot coming to this neighborhood.
Look, there's a skilled nursing facility.
Wow, look at the expansions to the springs. And is that a memory care?
It sure looks like it.
Wow.
Girls, you might want to turn these plans around. They'll make a little bit more sense, okay? And you know what? Since all of these great ideas and plans are coming out, don't you think we should invite the Shell Point residents to come and see these?
Absolutely. I think we should invite them out March 3rd.
Awesome. Let's get started.
Perfect.
Okay, so entertainment we got going?
John Reese Project is booked and ready to be there.
Great. Tent?
We've got that. It'll be the whole front of the springs.
Wonderful. Catering?
We've got all kinds of delicious goodies.
Awesome.
Gotta have food.
Okay, how about those model apartments?
We're working on it, Rita.
All right. And the floor plans are coming along?
They are. Fresh
Great.
from the architects.
Great. Speaking of architects, they've got this down on their calendar?
They do, and the interior designer will be here to show off all the exciting things coming to the springs.
Oh, I'm so excited for our residents to meet these experts that we've been working with side by side. What else is on our list? We've got to have buses. Got to get the people here, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Door to door.
All right. Now, what was that date?
Thursday, March 3rd.
Great. We are so excited to invite all of Shell Point. Shell Point residents come out, see the new Waters Watch neighborhood and the wonderful enhancements that we have planned for here at the spring.
It's easy to attend the Waters Watch neighborhood launch event entitled Diving into the Details on March 3rd. Court pickups will be provided for door-to-door transportation to and from the springs, as space will not be available for individual parking. Look for more details in the March issue of Shell Point Life magazine, or contact McKenzie Millis at 600-6424.
Come on out, everybody.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy News, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley and I'm here with
Caitlin Van Scoy.
And we're going to tell you the activities we offer for you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to start at 8 o'clock Friday with the men's match play tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. 8:15 we have the Stamp Ministry in the Stamp Room, which is in the tunnel on the island. From 8:30 till 11:30 we have the Friday Marketplace in the Administration Courtyard. Canasta and Samba both will be played at the Woodlands Commons at 9 o'clock. We have a Veterans Club meeting in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands at 10 o'clock. And we also have a 10 o'clock men's match play tennis down at the Woodlands Courts. Genealogy group will be meeting in the Osprey Room at 10:15. Also at 10:15 we have the Inquiring Minds group in the Manatee Room on the island. Our Suzy Q boat goes to the Lighthouse Restaurant or Tiki Bar at 10:30. And we're going to go into the afternoon activities lineup with the 12:30 mixed progressive bridge game. That'll be at the game room of the Woodlands. We have a 12:45 Health Connections class, Zumba Fitness. That's in the Health Club on the island. And we have advanced table tennis in the Tarpon Room at 1:15. Also at 1:15, those quilters will be in the Osprey Room on the island. The model train room will be open for tours and viewing from 1:30 to 3:30. Also at 1:30, we have Vespers in the community room of the Arbor. We're going to move to 2 o'clock where we have Bid Euchre being played in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. And at 2:15, the Life Quest Aquatic Center is going to be alive with water volleyball. We have our free Macintosh walk-in clinic at the Technology Teaching Center. That's at 2:30. We have our second Vespers at 2:30 as well. That's at the community room of King's Crown. At 3 o'clock, we have ballroom line dancing down in the health club. And our final Vespers of the day is at the Springs at 3:30. At 6:45, we have game night at the Resident Activity Center, so head on down there and have some fun. Here's Caitlin, and she's going to tell you what's going on Saturday.
Thank you, Bev. We start bright and early at 8 o'clock with pickleball at the game courts. Also at 8, round-robin doubles tennis will be at the Woodlands tennis courts. At 8 o'clock, the Shell Point Walking Club leaves for Punta Gorda. They meet at the Administration Courtyard Clock. At 9:30, we have men's and women's doubles tennis at the Woodlands. And we move to 9:45 for duplicate bridge. That'll be in the Manatee Room. At 10:15, the Model Yacht Sailing Club will be meeting at the Garden Apartment Pond to sail their boats. We move to the afternoon for chess at 1 o'clock at the Library Lounge of the Resident Activity Center. At 1:15, table tennis is available in the Tarpon Room. And we have our Saturday DVD occurring at 2 o'clock. It's The Intern, a 2015 film that's in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Basic line dancing is at 3:15 in the Health Club. And we have an outing to Barbara B. Mann Theater at 6:15. Island pickups begin at 6:15, 6:25 Woodlands, and 6:35 Eagles Preserve and Estuary. The second showing of the Saturday DVD is at 7 o'clock in the Grand Cypress Room. Again, that is The Intern, a 2015 film. Here's Bev to tell you all about our Sunday.
Thank you, Caitlin. We'll start Sunday morning with the 9 o'clock Christian Life Studies. That's being held in the game room of the Woodlands as well as at the Village Church. Our morning worship begins at 10:15 at the Village Church, and you can also find that broadcast live on Shell Point TV Channel 13. We jump all the way to 3:30 today for Friendship Day celebration in the Administration Courtyard and Amphitheater. At 3:30, we have the Sunday Golf Mixer at the Shell Point Golf Club. And our last activity for the weekend is 4:15, Latin Size Dance Group. That's in the Health Club on the island. Well, we want to wish you all a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Friday and the weekend. On Friday, February 12th at 8 a.m., court pickup begins on the island for the Fakahatchee Strand Preserve Nature Walk. At 10:15, an iPad, iPhone free walk-in clinic will take place in the Technology Teaching Center of the island. And at 2:30, a free Mac walk-in clinic will take place in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. I'd like to tell you what's coming up in the Academy of Lifelong Learning next week. On Monday, we have the second session of the NATO presentation by retired international lawyer and former economic advisor to the UK government, Thomas Tyrrell. And on Tuesday, our own Pastor Andy Hawkins, senior pastor of the Village Church, will teach What's the Bible All About? On Thursday, Professor Adrian Kerr returns to give us another up-to-date look at the Middle East turmoil. And on Friday, Phyllis and Jerry Ingalls of Eagles Preserve do a coffee with a neighbor on their experiences. This is called Smooth Sailing.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is shrimp creole with cheese grits and mixed vegetables. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $17.95. The soup of the day is corn chowder. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is seafood salad on a croissant with fresh fruit for $7.75. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are Delmonico for $21.95 or Florida Lobster for $23.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a French dip on a roll with chips for $7.75. The dinner special is chicken parmesan with roasted potatoes and green beans for $8.75. On Saturday, the Palm Grill features a Valentine's Day special menu from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is grilled ham, turkey, and Swiss on rye with a side salad for $7.75. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.75. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Andy Hawkins. I'm the senior pastor of the Village Church. Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm here with Melody Desilets, who is a foundation officer with the Legacy Foundation, and we're here to talk about the weekend worship services, but especially we're here to talk about Friendship Day, because that's a special day that Shell Point has set aside to do some very special things, Melody, and of course the Legacy Foundation is behind a lot of that, and it involves a lot of things happening in the afternoon on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So tell us a little bit about what the afternoon's going to be like.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me here. And I just wanted to point out, this was the invitation that all our residents received in their mailbox. And the day's events start out, of course, with the worship service at 10:15. But the afternoon brings us up into the administration courtyard at 3:30. So that includes hot dogs and chips and lemonade and ice cream if our residents picked up a ticket from either service desk. And then following that, we have a concert beginning at 4 o'clock in the amphitheater, which is newly revamped. And we have the Mountain Faith Band. Now, this band was shown on America's Got Talent in 2015, so it's going to be a wonderful program. We also have a surprise dedication happening as well at 4 o'clock. So our residents certainly do not want to miss this event. It's going to be full of fun and, of course, friendship.
Absolutely. And of course, as you mentioned, the day begins really in the morning, and the morning worship service at the Village Church. We certainly are making that our Friendship Sunday, and we're wanting to make sure that we connect with people, not only who are friends in the Village Church, but friends in the larger community, because we certainly want to extend that kind of friendship. You know, it's interesting, Melody, we have really crafted a very brand new mission statement for the Village Church. And it is that we're building a community of forgiveness, purpose, and hope in Jesus Christ. And so that idea of community building fits right into what's taking place with respect to this Friendship Day that we're having. And so we'll look forward to being able to communicate some of that love and friendship in that context. And I'll also be talking about what it means to be a people of purpose. Because that's what we are here at Shell Point. I mean, we just haven't landed here to just sort of hang out, have we? Yeah. There are things that give us meaning and significance in our life here at Shell Point, and we want to talk a lot about that. And that also feeds very well into a Friendship Day. So we hope folks will join us on that day. It'll be a special time in which we can really establish the friendships that we've already had, make some new friends together, and enjoy that worship service at 10:15, at which the Mountain Faith Band will also be engaging in some of our music ministry that morning. So we're looking forward to an exciting time on Friendship Day, starting at 10:15 on Sunday morning in the Village Church, 3:30 for the festivities in the afternoon, concert at 4 o'clock, a special dedication of the new renovated amphitheater. We're excited about the entire day. And so we hope that you'll all join us for Friendship Day for as many of those activities as possible, and we'll be looking forward to being your friend on Friendship Day.
And now it's time to take a look back at the top stories from earlier this week. Jeff Cory and Melody Desilets created a fun spot to tell you about the Bull or Bear investment seminar that was held this past Wednesday. Even though the event is over, we thought we'd show you some of the shenanigans from the shoot, as well as Melody's impersonation of Lucy.
Oh, you want me to start? Oh, okay.
In addition to that, they said that China is devaluing the yuan. Why are you laughing?
Sorry.
Was I wrong?
No.
Well, the first guest they had on there said that...
Yep. You had it.
Try it again.
Okay.
Melody, why don't you join us at our upcoming...
In addition to that, China is devaluing the yuan.
Action. Okay, Melody. Oh.
Action.
Now tell me about your new diet.
Well, it's quite interesting actually. You have a little bit of the broccoli for fiber, you have some bacon for protein, a little bit of ice cream, my favorite part, for dairy, and then you sprinkle some chia seeds on top.
And how about the Smart Pills?
Oh, that's an added bonus. Do you pop out at parties? Are you unpopular? Well, are you? Well, in this little bottle, it's all you need. This is one little bottle. Vita Vita Vegemin. You can't beat it.
Ruth Duber prepared some delicious parm chicken tenders in her kitchen this week for the installment of What's Cooking.
Hello, I'm Ruth Duber, and this is What's Cooking at Shell Point. And I have kind of a fun recipe that I've had fun with it when I've had grandkids or grandchildren here. You know, they always like the nuggets and all kinds of things like that. This is a crunchy Parmesan chicken tender. Now these are chicken tenders. I'll get it over here so you can get a picture of it. This was one package and it was 0.98. So I'm assuming that it's almost a pound, and that's good enough. And these have been soaking in buttermilk, 3/4 cup of buttermilk. And it says 15 minutes to 30 minutes you should soak them. So now we're going to get them out of that. And I have the oven heating 500 degrees. So it takes a long time to heat up, but it really cooks the chicken well. So we'll just drain this off. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 in this package. It says to put some olive oil on whatever you're cooking on. Now, I like to use the non-stick, heavy-duty non-stick foil. I am not a fan of cleaning pans. And so, putting this side up, you put this dull side up. So I'm going to line my pan with that. Now we're going to take a 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Get some of the lumps out. And 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. So we want to mix that. Here's the olive oil. Even though it's a non-stick surface, I am going to put a little bit on. Okay. Now, the last step before it goes in the oven is to add a little bit of olive oil on the top. Now, I don't know how much is a drizzle, but that's sort of up to you. We'll take this over. I think we're pretty close. And we're going to set this for 12 minutes. However, we will keep an eye on it. So here it goes. Whew, that is really hot. Okay, now, while that's cooking, here comes the fun part. It's a dipping sauce. And it's a little bit tricky. This is balsamic vinegar, and this is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And there's the 2 garlic cloves. Now, we're going to mince it up. Now, the object is to make sort of a paste out of it, and you do it with salt. Now, this is quite a job, but one thing, it gives you something to do while the chicken is cooking. So now I'm going to put it in a little dish, one of June Lockhart's Cocapelli bowl. And then we'll add the balsamic vinegar. That's the last step. The vinegar and the garlic really smell good. Okay, I'm going to turn the oven off. There we are. And we'll get the dipping sauce, which is over here. I need a knife. I gave it about 13 minutes. You can see it's cooked all the way through. And this is going to be hot. Tip in there. That was so tasty. Well, I hope you'll try it. It's kind of a fun dish to have. So, it is up on the website already. So I hope you try it, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Jeannie Veldman from Icings Travel was excited to share with us all the great getaways in store for this year. If you've been thinking about taking a trip to a place you've never been for breathtaking scenery, amazing discoveries, and exciting memories, then Icings has everything ready for your excursion. They have unique travel programs designed just for Shell Point residents that will maximize your experience, safety, and fun. Heather Batty visits with Jeannie now to learn all about the convenience of these travel programs and where you can go with them this year.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty with Resort Services. Today I'm here with Jeannie from Icings Travel. We're going to be talking about our Shell Point travel program. Hi Jeannie, thanks for being here with me today.
Hey Heather, thank you for having me here.
And we're here in the mountains.
Just to give a little bit more atmosphere to the trips that are coming up. Wonderful.
So tell me about Shell Point's travel program that you run from Icings Travel for us.
Well, it really is a unique program. What we do is include a lot of different features that you don't see with anyone else. We want Shell Point to have a very, very special program. And in it, it's all based on the experiences. Any trip that we put together, we always try to find something that will supersede any experiences that the residents may have had in the past, even if they've been to those destinations before. And we also include the conveniences. So in every Shell Point trip, it always has an escort that goes along. On most of the trips, it is a professional escort that gives them an idea of each one of the destinations that they're going to. And also we try to come up with a special security protocol for them. So wherever they're going, they're watched over, everything's taken care of, any needs that they have is taken care of. It starts right from their door. Right. We include door-to-door transportation, and we care for them all the way through during the entire trip. On the tours, on the land tours, we specifically limit them to no more than 28 guests. That way we feel that we can give them a more superlative experience and more individualized experience through the entire trip.
Right.
On the cruises, we make sure there's social experiences every time.
Yes, I've heard they're very fun.
We do a lot of fun. We do door prizes on the cruises. We do mix and mingles every night. We don't want any resident ever to come on a trip and never get to know anybody else on the trip. We want everybody to have a great time.
They sound like great trips whenever I hear.
Well, we always try to up the skill level or the classic level of the trip. So anytime we get a recommendation, we're always upping the ante and making sure they're fabulous.
So what are some of these upcoming fabulous trips that we're going on?
Well, if you look at the Shell Point list, we start out with a Rhine cruise in April. It'll be a trip that starts out in Amsterdam, and we're going to focus on the tulips and Keukenhof Gardens, and then we're going to take a wonderful cruise from Amsterdam all the way down the beautiful Rhine River, ending in Zurich before we come home.
Wow.
Now that one is getting full. We have only one room left. And I will be the escort on that one. I'm looking forward to taking.
Lucky for you.
Well, I enjoy the residents, and we really get to know them very well. That trip has only one room, and it's just to accentuate that these trips fill up quickly. So it's important to let us know as soon as possible. The next trip is the Canyonlands trip. On this one, again, 2 places left because we limit it to no more than 28 guests. So on the Canyonlands trip, we're going to be staying at the national parks on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, in the Monument Valley Gouldings Lodge, on Lake Powell. We'll take them through Slot Canyons. We'll take them to Zion National Park and Bryce Canyon National Park.
And when is that one?
That one's on May the 9th.
Okay.
The next one in line is Alaska, and you can see that we're standing in front of a little bit of Alaska here, just to get us in the mood. Another great trip. Well, yes, it kind of goes back and forth, but Alaska is a very majestic place. And here we're doing a land tour and a cruise combined. So our folks will get to go to Fairbanks, they'll go into Denali National Park, they'll go to the Kenai and have the beautiful Kenai Fjords cruise, and then starts the Holland America cruise from the Kenai down to Vancouver. Wow. And the sights are spectacular. We're going to be going to the Skagway port, where you're going to have the White Pass Railroad into the Yukon. We're going to be going to Juneau, the capital of Alaska. You'll see breaching whales here as you're going through the passage. And of course there's Ketchikan, and most people haven't even been to Misty Fjords National Park, one of the most beautiful national parks that exist in Alaska. After that, there's a brand new tour we're planning.
Okay.
This one will be our Thousand Islands tour and Niagara Falls. So this one's just in the making right now, so the actual flyer is going to come out in the very near future, but keep it in mind.
When is that?
That will be probably the end of July, because we're kind of moving it in end of July based on early August, somewhere in there. And on that one, we'll fly up to Burlington, Vermont for 2 nights. We'll cross Lake Champlain and spend 2 nights in Lake Placid. Wonderful. Then across northern New York, up to the Center Islands, where the Thousand Island cruise takes you on a beautiful day cruise through the islands, and then 2 nights at Niagara Falls.
Very fun.
So very fun trip, that's coming up. There's a spectacular trip coming up with Ireland and a transatlantic crossing on the Queen Mary 2. That one, again, is really an outstanding trip of Southern Ireland, with 2 nights in Dublin. We're going to spend 2 nights on the property of Ashford Castle. So it'll be spectacular. We'll see the Cliffs of Moher. We'll spend 2 nights in Killarney. We'll spend a night in Waterford, and then cross into England for 3 nights in Bath. And here we'll explore the beautiful historic Cotswolds and Shakespeare territory. Stonehenge, and then come transatlantic on the Queen Mary 2.
Wow, I'm going to pack my bags.
It's time to go.
I'm
It's
ready
time to go. Yep.
So in order to sign up for these trips, you can call either service desk, or you can reach out to Bev Chanley, or you could even call Icings Travel and speak with Jeannie. So if you're like me, you're going to want to pack your bags and get ready to go on one of these fantastic trips. Thank you so much, and stay happy and healthy.
Thank you, everyone.
With a mission to preserve and share Sanibel's history, the Sanibel Historical Museum and Village was founded in 1984. Early pioneering families settled on the island in the 1800s. 7 historical buildings from this era have been moved to the historical village and restored to their original state. On February 25th, you'll have the opportunity to hear stories of Sanibel's history when you visit the village in this Academy on the Go outing. This week, Bev Chanley gave us a preview.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath, and I'm here today with Bev Chanley, Program Coordinator of Resort Services, also the lady who runs Academy on the Go. Now we're talking about our Sanibel Historical Village and Museum Educational Field Trip. Thanks for joining me, Bev.
Oh, my pleasure, Terry.
So you got something pretty special lined up for us February 25th, and it is right across the causeway.
It is. It's right across the causeway. And you know, a lot of people don't even know that this little historical village and museum exists.
Right.
And when they go there, it's such a treat because what they've done is they've brought in a lot of the original buildings and old-time buildings from all over the island from years gone by, and they've situated them all together in this one little wonderful little museum village type of venue. And they have a full staff of volunteer docents that do a really nice job explaining all the history of where you're at and where you came from, where the island's been, where it's going. It's kind of neat.
And that is interesting because it's so close. And we think of it as this beautiful tourist spot with beautiful beaches, but people were there a long time ago. Interesting people, the Calusa, the Spanish.
I know it. You don't even think about that until you go to a place like this and you learn. And we've been there once before, quite a few years ago, and people were very surprised and very, very pleased that they went.
Well, this is great. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of Florida history every semester, Bev. We really, really do appreciate it. And this one is also going to have lunch on your own on the way back. I know it's busy on Sanibel in February, so what do you have planned for lunch?
We're going to go to our right at the end of the road here, the Lighthouse Restaurant.
Nice.
They've always got room for Shell Point residents, even when the island restaurants won't take us.
That's fabulous. So sign up quick, and see if there are any spots left. There are as we film this, and you will be able to see the history of Sanibel with Bev Chanley.
It's time again for wellness coach Maria Raleigh to teach us the truth about sugar. Sugar causes the production of insulin, which, in large amounts, keeps us from losing weight. This class will teach you to be aware of where sugar hides in our foods and how to read labels. Here's Maria, along with Heather Batty, to talk about next week's class.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty with Resort Services. Guess who's back? Maria Raleigh, and she's here with more knowledge, this time about sugar, with her upcoming program, Sugar Busters. So, tell me about Sugar Busters. We're going to bust the sugar?
Well, kind of, yeah, we are. We are going to look at quite a few products. There's a big, huge fad. There has been for years, the low-fat products on the market. But what people don't realize is when you take the fat out of a product, you have to increase the sugar exponentially in order to have any taste. So just because a cookie package says no fat doesn't mean you should sit down and eat a box of cookies.
Right, right. So if you're looking at a sugar content, say, of one cookie or one, say, protein bar or something like that, what's an amount of sugar that should be in one item?
Wow, that's a really tough question because it depends on what the item is. For instance, an apple is going to have sugar in it, but you also get the fiber and the goodness and all the stuff from an apple. Whereas, for instance, milk, you go to a low-fat milk, well, in 1 quart of low-fat milk, there's 48 grams of sugar. So, and that's just in one serving. So how much is in one container? Because people will buy those little containers and they might drink the whole thing with lunch, thinking it's a better product because it's a low-fat product.
I don't think a lot of people realize, even with whole milk, how much sugar
is in it.
Is in milk.
Tons
Yes,
of added
actually.
sugars. And same thing with yogurts and a lot of the energy drinks. For instance, Gatorade. Everybody thinks they're doing such a great job. They're going to go to the gym. They're going to have a Gatorade because that guy on the sports channel, he did that.
Right.
And so Gatorade basically is just carbohydrates and sugar. That's all it is. And unless you're running marathons on a regular basis, there's no reason for anybody to be picking up a Gatorade at any point.
Yes. Now, what about what about with juice?
The only juice, and we're so blessed because we're here in Florida and we have Sun Coast Orange place down here on the corner where you can buy juices that are non-pasteurized, fresh squeezed from local produce, which is awesome. But to buy juice from the store, like I'm not even going to use a brand name, but any brand name juice that you find at any public supermarket is going to be pasteurized, which means they're going to boil out basically anything that's good for it, separate the product, and then re-put it back together as this packaged juice, because a real orange juice, as you know, separates. So you have to shake it up really good every day. But the kind that you find in the store doesn't separate. So the processing that it goes through basically kills everything that's in it.
Right.
And so it's really just basically flavored sugar water.
Yes.
Almost as bad for you as soda.
What
with some acidity, depending on what kind it is.
What kind of juice.
Right.
What about the sugars, all the different Splenda and Equal? And
well, those artificial sugars, that problem with that too, let's just use diet soda as an example.
Right.
Diet soda, people think that they're doing a better job for their system because they're not drinking all the sugar from a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi-Cola. But the problem is it tricks your brain into thinking that you're eating sugar so that your cravings increase and your issues with your system, you have more problems with digestion issues, and you're going to want more and more and more and more, because that's what happens. Sugar is an addiction, just like heroin is an addiction. And so even if it's a fake sugar, you're still going to have those the cravings with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And plus the fact that most of the fake sugars, unless it comes from an actual sugar plant like stevia, are so toxic to your system, they're been proven to do possible cancer causing.
Yeah.
So we want to stay away from that.
Stay away from those processed sugars, unless, like you said, it's a plant-based.
Stevia, stevia drops. They're real good, and they come in many flavors. And
right.
You can use them in your coffee.
What about things like Crystal Light, which is a low sugar or a sugar-free option?
Right, and they also have the totally sugar-free options like dressings and things like that. But you want to make sure that they don't have things like aspartame or the chemical sweeteners in them, because they have been proven to be cancer-causing.
Wow, so we really have to read our labels.
And people would be shocked, because what we're going to do is I'm going to have very many little samples of empty bottles, and then we're going to show how many grams of sugar are actually in it, because people don't realize servings either. They don't know how to read the label. So the label says 10 grams of sugar. But then they trick you, and that one little bar might be 3 servings.
Yes, so you have to read the servings.
So then you actually, instead of having 10 grams, you're eating 30 grams of sugar in this little tiny package.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of examples, and they'll be
great. Well, if you want to learn how to sugar bust, make sure you join Maria Raleigh for this program. It's going to be Monday, February 15th at 10:15 in the Social Center. So we hope to see you there. Stay happy and healthy.
Valentine's Day is this weekend, and so is Friendship Sunday. This is a free, fun opportunity to celebrate what's happening lately down at the amphitheater on the island. For that story, we caught up with Jeff Cory and Melody Desilets during a hard day's work of construction.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cory from the Legacy Foundation, and we're here at the newly refurbished amphitheater at Shell Point. And as you see, lots of great construction happening. Melody, tell us why you're sitting in a Bobcat.
Well, you never know where your job may take you, and I am so excited to be a part of this journey of the newly revamped amphitheater, and we're in the process now, and we are going to celebrate it with you all. You all are invited to Friendship Day, happening right here in the amphitheater on February 14th, which men should know this. It's also Valentine's Day, right?
A day I never forget.
Very good. Well, the day starts out early with a church service. We're having a worship service in the village church at 10:15 to celebrate what else but friendship. Then the day takes you to 3:30 right up there in the administration courtyard, where we're going to have refreshments for you, followed by a concert with the Mountain Faith Band. And also, Jeff, tell us a little bit about a surprise dedication.
Melody, I can't give you too many details, but it's certainly a day that Shell Point residents won't want to miss. It's going to be exciting. We're going to have hot dogs, ice cream, the Mountain Faith Band with some bluegrass music. It's going to be certainly a day to remember here at Shell Point. And friendship is so important to all of our residents. It's really a part of Shell Point, our family, and it's going to be a great time.
Absolutely. So you will receive this beautiful invitation in your mailbox coming up soon. If you turn it over, it chronicles all the details of the day's events. Tickets for your food are available on February 1st, so you don't want to miss that. You want to sign up through either service desk. We are so excited to bring this event to you, and we hope to see you all out here on Sunday, February 14th for a great time. Be sure to sign up and join us for what Shell Point is known for, friendship.
Lately I've been dreaming hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. Light, seek it out and ye shall find more. But I'm not that old, young, but I'm not that bold, and I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, I couldn't lie. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Oh, lately I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned.
And that will bring an end to today's weekend edition of Shell Point Today. We want to thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you again on Monday.
Until then, we hope you have a marvelous Valentine's weekend. Goodbye, everyone.